back shoulder fade. Today it's a cheat code, a route so lethal it turns receivers into highlight reel monsters. But once it was a whisper, a rumor, a strange backward-leaning idea that didn't belong in polite football society. And hidden inside its origin story is a twist so unlikely, so deliciously improbable, that it helped transform a forgotten college receiver into a Denver Broncos hero. Now let's set the stage. Quarterback drops back, a defender blankets the receiver, and then the impossible. The ball sails behind the receiver toward the sideline, toward the one place only he can reach. He turns, he snatches it, crowd erupts. That's the back shoulder fade. Timing like a heartbeat, trust like a blood oath. The move that made Randy Moss a verb. But in the mid-1980s, it was barely a sketch on a napkin. Most credit the USFL, that old football ghost ship, for bringing it to life. But the truth is better. Because two men helped drag the back shoulder fade into the spotlight. And almost no one tells their story. Now, one name you know, one name you should. Jim Everett. Yeah, the same Jim Everett who once turned Jim Rome's studio into a cautionary tale. And the other, a man whose name should echo through Broncos country like a drumbeat. Mark Jackson. He wasn't big. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't supposed to be a star. But he became one of John Elway's most trusted weapons. 276 catches, 4,746 yards, and a highlight reel of playoff heroics that still sends chills through Mile High. He delivered 134 yards in the 87 AFC Championship, including an 80-yard lightning strike in the game known as the fumble. He torched the Steelers for 111 yards in the 89 playoffs. And the masterpiece, a bullet from Elway, a game-tying catch, a march into immortality, the drive. Mark Jackson was a playoff assassin, a clutch machine, a name carved into Broncos stone. But here's the part that no one tells you, the part that makes this story worth leaning in for. How did a 5'9", 180-pound receiver, a man who wasn't even expected to be drafted, become that guy? Well, now, this is where the lights dim and the music drops. Back at Purdue, Jim Everett was a superstar in waiting, a first-round lock, a future franchise quarterback. Mark Jackson, he was a footnote, a decent receiver, overshadowed by Rodney Cardner, who led the entire nation in catches and yards. Scouts barely glanced at Jackson. He was invisible. But Everett was the show, and every NFL team wanted front row seats. Long before those private pre-draft workouts, Everett and Jackson had been quietly perfecting something new, something no one else had mastered, the back shoulder fade. They drilled it until their legs screamed, until the timing was supernatural, until the route became their secret weapon, a handshake only they understood. And when the scouts arrived, Everett made one thing non-negotiable. No one else catches my passes. And suddenly, every scout, every coach, every executive who came to see the golden arm quarterback found themselves watching the undersized receiver catching everything thrown his way. Mark Jackson wasn't supposed to shine, but on that field, running that route with that quarterback, he became undeniable. One team saw it, the Denver Broncos. In 1986, they took a sixth-round chance on a player no one expected to matter. And that is how an overlooked receiver became a playoff hero, how a forgotten college kid became part of Broncos mythology, how a career was born from a single route. The back shoulder fade didn't just change football. It changed a life. It created a legend.